Life is often viewed through the lens of success and ease, where everything seems to flow smoothly and obstacles are something to avoid. But in reality, the essence of growth lies not in avoiding adversity, but in learning to navigate it. We often think of ourselves as being shaped by the positive experiences in life, yet it is in the difficult, painful moments that we truly discover who we are and what we are capable of achieving. Challenges don't just test us, they redefine us. They push us beyond our limits, stretch us in ways that comfort never will, and reveal the potential we never knew existed. In essence, adversity is the crucible in which our true strength is forged. It is easy to think that life should be a smooth ride, free of challenges, but that is not the nature of the journey. If everything went according to plan, we would never learn. Life's adversities are not here to defeat us but to guide us, to show us how much stronger we are than we realize. Without adversity, we would never truly appreciate the highs of success. Think about the moments when you face the toughest challenges. It is in those moments that you realize your strength, your perseverance, and your potential to overcome what seems impossible. The struggle is a necessary part of the process, a rite of passage that leads to growth. In times of ease, we rarely push ourselves to evolve. It is only through adversity that we learn to push through our discomfort and find the strength to move forward. When life gets difficult, it's easy to feel as though we're being punished, that everything is against us. But challenges don't exist to break us. Rather, they exist to teach us. The most valuable lessons in life often come from moments when things seem bleak, when we are forced to confront situations that push us to our limits. These moments allow us to discover new facets of ourselves. You begin to learn what you're truly capable of when you no longer have the luxury of choice or comfort. It is in these times that you dig deep within yourself to find the resilience, strength, and creativity that you never knew you had. The pain of the struggle often brings clarity, insight, and a stronger sense of self. The discomfort that adversity brings is not a signal of failure, but a marker of growth. Growth comes when we step out of our comfort zone, when we are forced to adapt to new circumstances. Without adversity, there would be no need for growth, no need for change. Think about the most difficult times in your life. Those are often the moments that have shaped you the most. It could be the loss of a job, the breakdown of a relationship, or facing a health scare. It may have seemed like the end of the road, but in reality, it was the beginning of a new journey. Each of those experiences taught you something new. They taught you how to be resilient, how to handle adversity with grace, how to stay grounded when everything around you seemed to be falling apart. The process of overcoming challenges forces us to develop a stronger mindset, to learn how to pivot, to adjust, and to keep moving forward even when it feels impossible. Those moments, while difficult, create a foundation for the future. They build resilience, and resilience is a crucial component of success. When you're facing a challenge, it can be easy to give in to despair. The weight of the situation can feel overwhelming. But in those moments, it's important to remember that adversity is the very thing that will lead you to the other side. It's the muscle that will make you stronger. Without it, there would be no progress. Consider the process of training for a marathon. If the training were easy, it wouldn't prepare you for the physical and mental endurance needed to run the race. The struggles, the sore muscles, and the exhaustion are all part of the process of building endurance. You cannot grow stronger without first pushing your limits. In the same way, challenges in life build the endurance needed to handle future difficulties. They prepare you for bigger battles, bigger opportunities, and bigger successes. Adversity is not here to stop you, it's here to teach you, to mold you into a version of yourself that is more capable, more resilient, and more ready for the future. We often look at successful people and think that they've had it easy, that they've been handed opportunities on a silver platter. But if you peel back the layers, you'll find that their success was built on a foundation of struggles. They faced obstacles, failures, and setbacks just like everyone else. But instead of letting those moments define them negatively, they used them as stepping stones. They learned from each failure and came back stronger, smarter, and more determined. They embraced adversity as an essential part of their journey. Every challenge they faced was an opportunity for growth. It was adversity that refined them, that forced them to dig deeper, to think differently, and to adapt in ways they might never have otherwise. Success is not the absence of difficulty, it is the ability to face those difficulties and emerge victorious. Growth through adversity requires a mindset shift. Instead of seeing challenges as barriers, we need to view them as opportunities. When we encounter adversity, we can either allow it to defeat us or use it as a tool for self-discovery and growth. The choice is ours. Each obstacle is a chance to learn more about ourselves, to build character, and to develop the skills necessary for future success. The people who thrive in life are not the ones who avoid difficulties, but the ones who embrace them, learn from them, and use them to fuel their drive. Adversity is not a detour, it is a necessary part of the journey. It is the forge in which our greatest strengths are made. When we embrace it, we not only survive, but we thrive, becoming stronger, wiser, and better prepared for whatever lies ahead. Persistence is one of the most powerful forces in life. It is the ability to keep moving forward, even when faced with challenges, setbacks, and obstacles. In a world where instant gratification is often sought, the true value of persistence is sometimes overlooked. But those who understand its power know that success is not always about talent or luck. It's about the unwavering determination to continue pushing forward, no matter the circumstances. Success is rarely achieved in a straight line, and the ability to persist through difficult moments is often what separates the winners from those who give up too soon. At its core, persistence is about resilience. Life rarely follows a perfect path, and anyone who has achieved anything meaningful has undoubtedly faced moments where everything seemed to be working against them. The true test of character comes in these moments. It is easy to feel defeated when faced with failure after failure, but persistence forces you to look beyond these setbacks and keep moving toward your goal. When things don't go according to plan, persistence keeps you going. It's the quiet determination that allows you to face challenges head-on and continue pursuing your objectives, even when success seems distant. The ability to stay the course, despite hardship, is a rare quality that leads to extraordinary results. Success is often portrayed as an end goal, a destination that can be reached with the right strategy or the right timing. However, this is a narrow view. The journey towards success is filled with hurdles, detours, and unforeseen difficulties. What truly matters is how you respond to these obstacles. It's easy to quit when things get tough, but those who persist through the toughest often come out stronger, wiser, and more equipped for future challenges. Persistence is the fuel that keeps the engine of progress running, even when the road is rough. Those who give up early miss the chance to reap the rewards that come after pushing through adversity. Persistence doesn't guarantee instant success, but it increases your chances exponentially by ensuring that you never stop trying. When you persist, you learn to refine your approach. Failure is not the end, it's simply a stepping stone towards success. Every time you fail, you learn something new about yourself, about your method, and about what works and what doesn't. With each setback, you build the mental strength to overcome the next challenge. Persistence allows you to adjust your strategy, adapt to new circumstances, and keep pushing forward. The greatest innovators and achievers in history faced failure again and again, but they were able to persist through it. They didn't see failure as a reflection of their capabilities. They saw it as part of the learning process, something necessary for their growth. The more you persist, the more experience you gain, and the more prepared you are for success when it finally comes. One of the greatest advantages of persistence is that it fosters a mindset of continuous improvement. The more you push yourself, the more you discover about your strengths, weaknesses, and capabilities. This self-awareness is invaluable because it allows you to make better decisions, improve your skills, and ultimately achieve your goals. Persistence teaches patience, not just with the process but also with yourself. The journey towards success often takes longer than we expect, and impatience can lead to discouragement. However, persistence keeps you focused on the bigger picture. It reminds you that results take time, and each small step forward is still progress. Persistence teaches you to stay committed to your vision, no matter how long it takes, because you understand that success is not defined by speed, but by consistency. Persistence also cultivates the ability to deal with discomfort. Success often requires you to step out of your comfort zone, and this can be an incredibly uncomfortable experience. Whether it's learning new skills, tackling difficult tasks, or facing rejection, the discomfort can be overwhelming. However, persistent individuals don't shy away from discomfort. They embrace it. They understand that growth happens outside of the comfort zone, and they know that the pain of pushing through it is temporary. It's the discomfort of the process that molds them into the person they need to be. In fact, the discomfort becomes a sign of progress. If things were always easy, you wouldn't be learning or growing. Persistence means accepting the discomfort as part of the process and continuing despite it. Persistence also gives you the power to control your destiny. While luck can play a role in success, it is persistence that determines how long you are willing to fight for your dreams. It is easy to attribute success to chance, but those who persist understand that they are in control of their actions and choices. No one can dictate how long you will continue working toward your goals except for you. Persistence means taking ownership of your future and refusing to let anything deter you from the pursuit of your dreams. It is a mindset that empowers you to take the reins of your life and drive it in the direction you choose, regardless of obstacles. In the face of adversity, persistence becomes your greatest ally. It helps you build momentum when things are difficult, and it provides you with the strength to keep moving forward when the path ahead seems unclear. Persistence is not about blindly pushing through without strategy or understanding. It is about having the resolve to keep going, even when it feels like success is far away. Those who persist understand that the road to success is not always easy, but they are willing to stay the course. They know that the only way to fail is to stop trying. Every successful person has faced moments where giving up seemed like the easier option, but those who persisted were the ones who achieved greatness. The power of persistence lies in its ability to turn obstacles into opportunities and setbacks into stepping stones. It is the unwavering belief that, no matter how many times you fall, you will always get back up and continue moving forward. This is the key to success, and it is within every one of us to harness the power of persistence. Success is a deeply personal and subjective concept. It's easy to get caught up in society's standards of success: wealth, fame, status, and recognition. These are often portrayed as the ultimate markers of achievement. However, true success is not about fitting into these predefined molds. It's about understanding what success means to you, based on your values, goals, and vision for your life. Defining your own success allows you to chart a course that aligns with your deepest desires and purpose. It is an empowering process that helps you take control of your life, instead of simply following someone else's path. The journey to defining your own success begins with self-reflection. It is crucial to take time to think about what truly matters to you. What makes you feel fulfilled? What are you passionate about? What do you want to contribute to the world? Success is not just about accumulating material wealth or achieving a specific career milestone. It is about living a life that feels meaningful and aligned with your personal values. For some, success may mean creating a family, nurturing deep relationships, and contributing to their community. For others, it may involve building a thriving business, making groundbreaking discoveries, or dedicating their lives to helping others. The first step in defining your own success is to understand what your unique version of fulfillment looks like. Once you have a clearer picture of what success means to you, it is important to set specific and meaningful goals. These goals should be aligned with your values and should reflect your own definition of success. It is easy to be swayed by the expectations of others or by what is considered successful in mainstream society. However, true fulfillment comes from setting goals that are authentic to your desires. If your goal is to travel the world and experience different cultures, then that becomes your definition of success. If you dream of becoming a renowned artist, your success is measured by your progress in that field. not by external standards of fame or financial gain. Setting goals that resonate with your values allows you to create a sense of purpose and direction in your life. One of the greatest challenges in defining your own success is overcoming the pressure to conform to societal expectations. From an early age, we are often taught to pursue specific markers of success. Graduating from a prestigious school, landing a high-paying job, getting married, and so on. While these may be valid goals for some people, they are not universal. It is important to recognize that everyone's journey is different, and success cannot be measured by the same yardstick for everyone. Some may find fulfillment in traditional career paths, while others may find success in unconventional pursuits. Success is personal, and the courage to define your own version of it requires breaking free from societal norms and expectations. This can be difficult, especially when the people around you may have a different vision of success. However, staying true to your own values and goals is the key to living an authentic life. Part of defining your own success is accepting that the path will not always be linear. Success rarely comes in a straight line. It is often a winding journey full of ups and downs, detours, and setbacks. The road to success is unique for each individual, and it may take longer than anticipated. The important thing is to stay committed to your vision, even when things don't go as planned. Challenges, failures, and delays are not signs of defeat, but opportunities for growth. When you define your own success, you give yourself the freedom to embrace the detours, knowing that they are part of your personal journey. You allow yourself the space to learn, evolve, and refine your approach to life's challenges. Success is not about avoiding difficulties, but about finding the strength to persist through them and continue working toward your goals. Your success should not be measured by comparison to others. It is easy to look around and see others achieving things that you may aspire to, but comparing yourself to others often leads to feelings of inadequacy and self-doubt. Each person's journey is unique, and the success of others does not diminish your own. It's important to remember that everyone's timing is different, and just because someone else seems to be ahead of you does not mean that you are failing. When you define your own success, you stop measuring your worth by the accomplishments of others. Instead, you focus on your own growth, progress, and personal fulfillment. This shift in mindset allows you to feel more satisfied with your own journey and less concerned about where you stand in comparison to others. In the pursuit of your personal success, it is essential to cultivate self-compassion and patience. Success takes time, and the process can be filled with challenges. Along the way, you will experience setbacks, failures, and moments of self-doubt. It is important to remember that these experiences are part of the journey and not an indication of failure. Self-compassion allows you to treat yourself with kindness during difficult times and to learn from your mistakes instead of beating yourself up over them. Patience is equally important, as it reminds you that success is not always immediate. It requires consistent effort, determination, and perseverance. By being patient with yourself and understanding that progress takes time, you create a healthier and more sustainable approach to achieving your goals. When you define your own success, you create a life that is authentic and aligned with your true self. This process allows you to embrace your passions, live according to your values, and achieve goals that bring you real fulfillment. Success, in its truest form, is not about meeting external standards or competing with others. It is about living a life that feels meaningful and purposeful to you. Your success is a reflection of your unique journey, and it is up to you to define what that looks like. Failure is an inevitable part of life, and yet it is often viewed with disdain, fear, and a sense of defeat. Most people try to avoid failure at all costs, perceiving it as something to be ashamed of or a sign that they are incapable. However, failure is not something to be feared, but rather embraced. It is an essential part of the learning and growth process. Failure is not a reflection of who you are as a person or a sign of your limitations. Instead, it is an opportunity to learn, adapt, and become better. When you begin to embrace failure as a stepping stone rather than a roadblock, you open yourself up to new possibilities and greater success. The fear of failure can paralyze us, making us hesitant to take risks or step outside of our comfort zones. This fear often stems from societal pressure to succeed and the negative associations we have with failure. In school, in our careers, and in personal pursuits, we are often taught to avoid failure at all costs. We are conditioned to believe that failure means we are inadequate, that we are not good enough. This belief can limit our potential and hold us back from taking the necessary steps to achieve our goals. However, failure is not the end. It is merely a part of the journey. Everyone who has achieved greatness has experienced failure at some point. The difference between those who succeed and those who give up is their willingness to keep going despite failure. When we embrace failure, we begin to see it as a learning opportunity. Every time we fail, we gain valuable insights into what went wrong and how we can improve. Failure teaches us about our weaknesses, but more importantly, it shows us how to overcome them. It forces us to examine our methods, strategies, and mindset, allowing us to make adjustments and try again with a clearer understanding of what works and what doesn't. The process of failing and reflecting on those failures is what ultimately leads to growth. The knowledge gained from failure cannot be obtained through success alone. Success is often fleeting and can be the result of luck, but failure forces us to dig deep and learn the lessons that will lead to lasting success. Embracing failure also requires a shift in perspective. Instead of viewing failure as a reflection of our abilities, we can choose to see it as a necessary part of the learning process. Failure is not a personal attack or an indication that we are incapable. It is simply the universe's way of showing us where we need to improve and grow. This shift in mindset allows us to approach failure with curiosity instead of fear. When we stop fearing failure, we can take risks, try new things, and step outside of our comfort zones. This is where true growth happens. It is easy to stay in a place of safety, avoiding risks and playing it safe, but this will never lead to greatness. Failure is a sign that you are pushing yourself, that you are trying something new and challenging. If you never fail, you are likely not stretching yourself enough or taking enough risks. Failure also builds resilience. Life is filled with challenges, and not everything will go according to plan. When we fail, we learn how to bounce back, how to pick ourselves up and try again. This resilience is what makes us stronger and more capable in the face of adversity. Each failure teaches us how to persevere, how to remain focused on our goals even when things are not going well. Success is rarely achieved in a straight line. It is a journey filled with obstacles, setbacks, and failures. The people who succeed are the ones who have learned how to persist through failure, to keep moving forward despite the challenges. The more we fail, the better we become at dealing with adversity. We develop a sense of determination that becomes unshakable, allowing us to face future challenges with confidence. In addition to building resilience, failure teaches us humility. It reminds us that we are not invincible and that there is always room for improvement. When we fail, we are forced to confront our limitations and acknowledge that we don't have all the answers. This humility is essential for growth because it keeps us open to learning and improvement. People who are afraid of failure often become arrogant or overly confident, believing that they can do no wrong. However, failure keeps us grounded and reminds us that we are always learning. It teaches us to be more open-minded, to seek feedback, and to be willing to adapt our approaches. Without failure, we would become complacent, stuck in our ways, and unable to grow. The process of embracing failure also teaches us patience. In a world where instant gratification is often sought, failure teaches that success does not come overnight. It takes time, effort, and persistence. Failure is a reminder that the road to success is long and filled with obstacles, and that's okay. Every successful person has experienced failure, and the ones who achieve their goals are the ones who have the patience to keep going when things don't happen right away. It is easy to become discouraged when we don't see immediate results, but failure teaches us to trust the process. It reminds us that progress takes time, and every failure brings us one step closer to our goals. Success is not about avoiding failure, but about staying committed to the journey despite it. When we embrace failure as a stepping stone, we become more comfortable with taking risks and trying new things. We no longer fear the possibility of failure, but instead, we see it as a natural part of the journey towards success. Failure becomes an opportunity for growth, a tool for learning, and a source of strength. Those who are willing to fail, who are willing to face rejection and disappointment, are the ones who ultimately succeed. They understand that failure is not something to be avoided, but something to be embraced. By doing so, they unlock their true potential and achieve things they never thought possible. Failure is not the opposite of success, it is an essential part of it. Every time we fail, we get one step closer to achieving our dreams. Self-belief is one of the most powerful forces a person can possess. It is the foundation upon which success is built, the invisible thread that holds together every ambition, dream, and goal. Without self-belief, even the most brilliant ideas and talents are unlikely to flourish. When you believe in yourself, you unlock a world of possibilities and pave the way for growth, progress, and success. It is easy to underestimate the importance of believing in yourself, especially in a world where external validation and societal expectations often take precedence. But self-belief is not about ignoring challenges or pretending that everything is perfect. It's about having the courage to trust your abilities, make decisions, and move forward despite the inevitable obstacles that arise. Self-belief begins with self-awareness. To believe in yourself, you first need to understand who you are, what you stand for, and what you are capable of achieving. It's about recognizing your strengths and acknowledging your weaknesses, and being okay with both. When you are self-aware, you are in a better position to make decisions that align with your true values and goals. Self-awareness also helps you set realistic expectations for yourself. Rather than measuring your worth based on external standards or comparing yourself to others, you can measure your progress based on your personal growth and the goals you've set for yourself. This internal compass helps guide you in times of doubt and uncertainty, and it fosters the confidence necessary to keep moving forward, even when things get tough. When you believe in yourself, you are more likely to take risks and pursue your goals with determination. The road to success is rarely smooth, and there will be times when you face challenges that seem insurmountable. However, when you have self-belief, you don't shy away from these challenges. You understand that setbacks are a part of the journey, and that you have the strength and resilience to overcome them. People who believe in themselves are not easily discouraged by failure. Instead, they see it as a stepping stone towards success. They understand that each failure brings them one step closer to their goals, as it provides valuable lessons and insights that can help them refine their approach. Without self-belief, failure can be paralyzing, causing you to give up before you've even truly tried. But with self-belief, failure becomes just another part of the process, something that is temporary and surmountable. Self-belief is also essential for personal growth. Growth requires stepping out of your comfort zone, trying new things, and pushing your boundaries. Without believing in yourself, you may hesitate to take these steps, afraid of making mistakes or looking foolish. But personal growth is rooted in the willingness to take risks, learn from those risks, and keep improving. When you have self-belief, you are more likely to embrace challenges as opportunities to learn and grow. You trust that you have the ability to handle whatever comes your way, and this confidence propels you to take action, even when you're unsure of the outcome. The more you take risks and push yourself outside your comfort zone, the more your self-belief grows, creating a positive feedback loop that continues to propel you forward. Another key aspect of self-belief is the power it gives you to silence your inner critic. We all have an inner voice that sometimes tells us we're not good enough or that we'll never succeed. This voice is often fueled by fear, doubt, and insecurity, and it can prevent us from taking action or pursuing our dreams. However, when you believe in yourself, you can acknowledge this voice and move past it. You understand that your inner critic is not a reflection of your true potential, but rather a product of self-doubt. By nurturing self-belief, you can quiet these negative thoughts and focus on what is truly important, taking action and moving forward toward your goals. Self-belief allows you to trust in your decisions and to ignore the doubts and fears that would otherwise hold you back. Self-belief also plays a crucial role in resilience. Life is full of challenges, and we will all face difficult times. Whether it's personal struggles, professional setbacks, or unexpected obstacles. How we respond to these challenges often determines our success. Self-belief gives you the strength to bounce back from adversity and keep going when everything seems to be falling apart. It's easy to become overwhelmed when things don't go according to plan, but self-belief provides the mental fortitude to keep pushing forward. When you believe in yourself, you trust that you have the ability to handle whatever life throws your way. This resilience enables you to maintain a positive mindset and continue working toward your goals, even in the face of adversity. Believing in yourself also gives you the courage to pursue your passions. When you don't believe in your abilities, it's easy to let fear dictate your actions. You may shy away from pursuing your dreams because you're afraid of failing or because you don't think you're capable of achieving them. But when you have self-belief, you have the confidence to go after what you truly want, even if it's outside your comfort zone. Self-belief gives you the courage to take that first step, no matter how daunting it may seem. It encourages you to take action, to pursue what excites you, and to trust that you have the strength to overcome any obstacles that may arise. When you believe in yourself, you realize that your passions and dreams are worth pursuing, and you stop letting fear and doubt stand in your way. Self-belief is not about being arrogant or overconfident. It's about having a deep trust in your abilities and knowing that you are capable of achieving great things. It's about recognizing your worth and understanding that you are deserving of success, happiness, and fulfillment. When you believe in yourself, you approach life with a sense of purpose and determination. You are no longer held back by fear, doubt, or uncertainty. Instead, you move forward with confidence, knowing that you have the power to shape your own destiny. Self-belief is the foundation of success, and it is something that everyone can cultivate within themselves. It starts with recognizing your potential, trusting in your abilities, and having the courage to take action, no matter the challenges you face. Fear is one of the most powerful emotions we experience as human beings. It can be both a protective mechanism and an obstacle, depending on how we choose to respond to it. On one hand, fear can alert us to potential dangers and keep us safe. On the other hand, it can also paralyze us, preventing us from reaching our full potential. The key to overcoming fear lies not in eliminating it, but in learning how to face it. When you learn to face your fears rather than avoid them, you open up the possibility for growth, success, and personal transformation. One of the first steps in facing fear is acknowledging it. Many people try to suppress or deny their fears, thinking that by ignoring them, they will go away. However, fear that is buried deep within us often grows stronger and more overwhelming. The more we try to avoid it, the more control it has over our lives. Instead of denying or running from fear, the first step is to recognize it and give it space. By acknowledging fear, you disarm its power. When you face your fear head-on, it loses some of its grip on you. You take control of the situation, rather than letting fear control you. Fear often thrives in the unknown. When faced with uncertainty, our minds tend to create worst-case scenarios, amplifying our anxiety. This can prevent us from taking action, as we imagine all the negative outcomes that could occur. However, fear of the unknown can be counteracted by knowledge and preparation. When you face a fearful situation, take the time to educate yourself about it. Research, practice, and prepare as much as possible. Knowledge helps you to gain control over the situation and reduces the anxiety that fear generates. By making the unknown more familiar, you can mitigate the power that fear has over you. One of the biggest barriers to facing fear is the misconception that we must be fearless in order to succeed. People often think that those who are successful or brave do not experience fear. This is not true. Everyone feels fear. The difference is in how we respond to it. Fear is natural and inevitable. It's not about eliminating fear, but about learning to act in spite of it. Courage is not the absence of fear, but the ability to move forward even when fear is present. The more we face our fears, the more we realize that our capacity to handle them is greater than we thought. With each act of bravery, we gain confidence and our fears lose their power. Facing fear is also about reframing our mindset. Instead of viewing fear as something negative or destructive, we can choose to see it as a signal for growth. Fear often arises when we are on the brink of something new or challenging. It's a sign that we are stepping outside of our comfort zone, a place where growth and opportunity lie. Instead of seeing fear as a barrier, we can view it as a catalyst for transformation. Every time you face your fear, you gain a little more confidence in your ability to handle the challenges that life throws your way. Fear, in this sense, becomes a tool for pushing you forward, helping you expand your limits and discover new aspects of yourself. Another important aspect of facing fear is learning how to manage the physical sensations that come with it. Fear often triggers a physical response, such as a racing heart, shallow breathing, or a feeling of being paralyzed. These reactions are part of the body's natural fight or flight response. When facing fear, it's crucial to learn how to calm your body and mind. Techniques such as deep breathing, mindfulness, and visualization can help you regain control. By practicing these techniques, you teach your body that fear does not have to overwhelm you. You learn to remain composed, even in the face of uncertainty or danger. The more you practice calming yourself in fearful situations, the more empowered you become to face any challenge. Fear often brings with it the fear of failure. Many people are afraid to take risks because they worry about failing. They fear the judgment of others or the consequences of not succeeding. However, failure is not the end. It is simply a part of the learning process. Every failure provides valuable lessons and insights that can help you improve and grow. Embracing the possibility of failure is an essential part of facing fear. When you stop fearing failure and begin to view it as an opportunity for growth, you take away its power. You become more willing to take risks, to try new things, and to pursue your dreams. Failure is not something to be feared, but something to be learned from. Facing fear also requires vulnerability. It means being willing to expose yourself to discomfort, uncertainty, and emotional risk. Often, the fear we experience is tied to the potential for emotional pain. Whether it's the fear of rejection, the fear of judgment, or the fear of being hurt, these fears can hold us back from pursuing our passions and connecting with others. However, vulnerability is not a weakness. It is a source of strength. When you allow yourself to be vulnerable, you open the door to deeper connections, more authentic experiences, and greater personal fulfillment. Vulnerability allows you to face your fears, to put yourself out there, and to take chances, even when the outcome is uncertain. In the face of fear, it's important to surround yourself with support. Fear can often feel isolating, making you believe that you are the only one struggling. However, no one is immune to fear. Sharing your fears with others can provide comfort, encouragement, and perspective. It's often helpful to seek guidance from those who have faced similar fears or challenges. Knowing that others have overcome similar obstacles can inspire you to keep going. Support systems help to remind you that you are not alone, and they can provide the strength and encouragement you need to push through fear. Facing fear ultimately teaches you resilience. Every time you face a fear and emerge on the other side, you build emotional strength and mental fortitude. Resilience is the ability to bounce back after setbacks, to keep going even when the road is difficult. Fear tests this resilience, and by confronting it head-on, you build the endurance to handle future challenges. Fear will always be a part of life, but it no longer has the power to stop you when you learn to face it with courage and determination. It becomes a part of your journey, helping you grow stronger and more capable with every step. Life is a journey filled with countless challenges, difficult obstacles. At times, these struggles can feel overwhelming, as if they are insurmountable walls standing between us and our goals. It is easy to become consumed by the hardships we face, and at times, it can feel like the weight of the world is bearing down on us. But it is in these moments that we must remember that our purpose is greater than our struggles. The challenges we encounter are not roadblocks to our success. They are simply tests of our resilience, perseverance, and commitment to our greater vision. Our purpose is the driving force that propels us forward, even when the path becomes rocky. It is the deep-rooted sense of why we do what we do. The reason we keep going when everything around us seems to be falling apart. Purpose is not something we discover overnight. It is shaped by our values, experiences, and the impact we wish to have on the world. When we are clear about our purpose, it becomes a guiding light, helping us navigate through the darkest of times. Struggles may seem all-encompassing in the moment, but when we zoom out and look at the bigger picture, we can see that they are merely temporary obstacles on a much larger and more meaningful journey. One of the most powerful aspects of understanding that your purpose is greater than your struggles is that it provides you with a sense of meaning during tough times. When life feels difficult and the weight of the world seems too heavy to bear, purpose acts as an anchor. It reminds us why we started in the first place and keeps us focused on the destination, even when the road is unclear. Without purpose, it becomes easy to become disillusioned, to lose sight of what truly matters. But when you have a clear sense of purpose, you can endure challenges with a greater sense of resilience. The struggles no longer seem as defeating because you understand that they are just part of the process, part of your journey towards something much bigger than yourself. When we face hardships, it is easy to fall into the trap of questioning our worth and abilities. We may begin to doubt ourselves and wonder if we are strong enough to continue. However, our struggles do not define us. They are simply a part of our experience, but they are not who we are. Our identity is shaped by our purpose, not our pain. Understanding this allows us to move through struggles with greater clarity and strength. Instead of allowing difficulties to define us, we choose to define ourselves by the vision we are working toward. It is not our struggles that determine our success. It is our commitment to our purpose that guides us through. A key component of understanding that your purpose is greater than your struggles is the ability to find growth within adversity. Every challenge we face presents an opportunity for growth. While it may not always be obvious in the moment, the hardships we endure often teach us valuable lessons. They reveal our inner strength, help us discover new capabilities, and encourage us to adapt in ways we never thought possible. Our purpose becomes more defined through these experiences because it forces us to dig deeper and find solutions in ways we might not have if everything were easy. Challenges shape us, refine us, and ultimately make us stronger in the pursuit of our greater goals. It is in the midst of struggle that we learn the most about who we are and what we are capable of achieving. When you truly believe that your purpose is greater than your struggles, you develop a sense of persistence that allows you to keep moving forward, even when things seem impossible. The key to success is not the absence of obstacles, but the ability to continue despite them. It's easy to give up when things are difficult, but those who understand the importance of their purpose continue to push through, knowing that each challenge they face is a necessary step toward realizing their dreams. Success is not about avoiding difficulties, but about embracing them as part of the process. When you align your efforts with a purpose greater than yourself, it becomes easier to overcome obstacles because you are not just working for the end result. You are working for something that transcends the struggles, something that motivates you to keep going when you feel like quitting. Your purpose also provides a sense of perspective. In times of struggle, it can be easy to become consumed by the problems at hand, feeling like they are insurmountable. But when you zoom out and remember that these challenges are temporary, it becomes easier to navigate through them. Your purpose helps you see the bigger picture. It reminds you that the difficulties you are facing are not permanent and that they are ultimately helping you grow into the person you need to be to achieve your goals. Struggles can be difficult to endure, but when you have a clear sense of purpose, you understand that they are part of the journey. You begin to see that each obstacle you face is building you up, preparing you for something greater. The importance of knowing that your purpose is greater than your struggles is that it allows you to persevere with hope and determination. When we face hardships, it is easy to become consumed by the weight of the moment. We may feel like giving up, as if the challenges are too great to overcome. But when we remember why we are doing what we are doing, it reignites our motivation. Our purpose is the fuel that keeps us moving forward. It is what helps us rise each time we fall. What inspires us to keep fighting even when we feel like we have nothing left. Our purpose gives us the strength to keep going. And in doing so, it transforms our struggles into stepping stones toward greater achievement. Having a purpose greater than your struggles also helps you maintain hope in the face of adversity. Hope is a powerful motivator, and when you have a clear sense of purpose, you can hold on to that hope even when things seem bleak. The struggles you face become more manageable when you can see that they are leading you somewhere. Without purpose, struggles can feel like meaningless obstacles that serve no purpose other than to bring pain and frustration. But when you know that your challenges are helping you grow and move closer to your goals, they take on new meaning. You can endure hardships because you understand that they are part of a larger picture, a picture that holds promise and potential. Your purpose is not just a reason to keep going, it is the foundation of your resilience. It is what sustains you when times are tough and what pushes you to keep moving forward, even when the road is long. When you face struggles, remember that your purpose is bigger than anything you are going through. It is your compass, your guide, and the source of your strength. When you focus on your purpose, you shift your perspective, and the struggles that once seemed overwhelming begin to feel more like opportunities for growth. In the journey of life, it is essential to recognize that our challenges, fears, failures, and struggles are not obstacles standing in the way of our success, but rather stepping stones that shape us into the individuals we are meant to become. Embracing adversity, facing fear, and believing in ourselves empower us to push beyond our limits and grow stronger. It is through perseverance and persistence that we unlock our true potential, and by defining our own success, we create a path that aligns with our unique purpose and values. Every struggle we encounter becomes a necessary part of the process, teaching us lessons that refine our character and bring us closer to our greater goals. Remember that your purpose is greater than any difficulty you face. It is the beacon that will guide you through life's challenges, offering clarity, strength, and resilience. By focusing on your purpose, you transform obstacles into opportunities for growth, ensuring that every step forward, no matter how difficult, brings you closer to the life you are destined to live.